come into meditation, you lift yourself above those thoughts which are constantly after you. You shut up those thoughts. They are shut down. They're pushed down. All of that bottomless pit of desire is shut down. They're shut down. Closed down. In other words, you put the lid on them. Let's take a look at Matthew. Okay, the book of Matthew. Now, go to Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6. You with me? And some folks have told me that they're having Bible studies with these things and so forth, and it's good to do that. You have some people over. Look what it says in Matthew 6:6. When you pray, enter your closet, and when you have shut the door, pray to your Father which is in secret. That's exactly what it's talking about. When you pray and enter the closet and shut the door, you're closing the door on the thoughts of the lower mind. You're closing down the thoughts of the lower mind. No longer is it available to you. You shut the door on the bottomless pit where the lower thoughts are kept at bay. You are here, you are into meditation, and you reach this point of nirvana. You have lifted yourself above all of those thoughts. You have shut the door on all of those thoughts, and these thoughts are no longer there to bother you and to distress you. You're holding them down. Your immune system has an opportunity now to replenish itself and to get after those things that should be dealt with by your immune system. Okay? Okay. Now look at this, Revelation 20, verse 3, if you go back to where we were. Revelation 20, verse 3, and what does it say? Revelation 20, verse 3, look, and they cast him into the bottomless pit, shut him up, and set a seal upon him. Now that seal is the stamp of authority. It is your certainty that God is in you, and the will of God is made certain to you. I want to read you something from one of the apocryphal books of the Bible. There's a lot of books of the Bible which never really made it in. And one of them is called The Acts of Judas Thomas. And from the Hymn of the Soul, from the book The Acts of Judas Thomas, it says, "And my letter was a letter which the king sealed with his right hand." I want my letter sealed by the king with his right hand. In other words, in that right hemisphere of the brain. As Jesus said, cast your energies to the right side. The seal will come from the right side. You'll walk out of this place, and if you walk into a mob of thousands telling you this is wrong, 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 you'll know one thing for sure: this is right. Because in spite of the mob, in spite of the television, in spite of whatever they may say, you have received that seal of authority and approval from within. That's what. Because I can't convince you of this. It's ridiculous. Once you have exposed yourself to the higher mind, nobody can mislead you again. Never, ever, ever will you ever fall for that stuff again. It'll never happen. No way. Because you don't follow them anymore. You don't follow me, obviously. And I want you to. You follow the Christ who is within you. You follow the Christ who is within you. And that's where the beauty comes from. And that's where the authority comes from. And that's where you change. Now look at Revelation 23. That the mind, he should deceive the nations, and we learned that's your consciousness no more. Let me ask you something. You've come here, you've gone into meditation, you've experienced this, you've touched this higher realm of consciousness, you look at the Bible, you find that God is love, and he does not drop bombs on people. You find that Jesus is the Prince of Peace, he's not coming back in an atomic holocaust. You're not being deceived anymore with all of that nonsense. You're not being misled anymore with all of that nonsense. What is coming from within yourself. You can't even sit and listen to those guys anymore. They can't deceive you anymore. That's deceit, that's deception. Putting a price tag on God's touch onto a person, putting a price tag on it of money, of all the things. Money as a price tag on God healing somebody. So you won't listen to it. Nobody would be able to deceive you anymore like that. Because you know that all blessings come from that higher place. What chance does a little baby have who is crippled? What chance does a little child in Africa have? What chance does a mother or a father have if they have no money? Do they have a Visa or a MasterCard that they can use like these guys get nowadays? That's deception. It is deception. And once you enter into meditation, your mind is so changed that you'll never be deceived by that anymore. You'll never listen to it anymore, and you won't. And it says in Revelation chapter 20, verses 3, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. What's 1,000 years? 1,000 years can occur here in a half hour when you're in the meditation. 1, you're with God. 2, you're in eternal nothingness inside of you, which is the 12. That's the 1,000 years. It happens in 10 seconds. It can happen in 15 minutes. And once that is fulfilled, what happens? You come down, you leave this place, he's let loose. He's let loose. But look what it says. For a little season. He's not the same one that he used to be. Because it used to be that the thoughts of the mind could grab you around the neck and hang on to you. Can't anymore. Can't anymore. Because once he grabs onto your ears, it grabs onto the back of your neck with all of the thoughts that come into your mind, and boom, off you go into nirvana. Sure. It says that he must be loosed a little season. He's not the power near what he was. Those thoughts are not nearly the power against you that they were before. That's victory. That's what God has called about victory. Look at that for a little season. You see that? He should be loosed a little season. Would you look at that? A little season. You should get so excited about hearing this stuff, you should jump right up and go right through one of these things. And you just may, because this is truth and it's right at your hand. And you know it works, and it's right here. And all you have to do is sit down and allow yourself to rise up in the place of nirvana. But for this season, see this? I want to look at the Upanishads of Hare Krishna. Listen to this. Listen to this, Hare Krishna. Brahman says to him, "Who are you?" And he shall answer, "I am a season, and a child of the seasons, sprung from the womb of endless space, the light of the year, the self of all that is." I love this next line. "What you are, that I am." Now listen. I am but a phase of the universal life and a child of the manifest cycles. I have sprung from the matrix and am born a spiritual germ in matter from the Virgin Mother. Isn't that beautiful? I am born from the Virgin Mother, written 3,000 years before Jesus was born. And that makes me love and so tuned into Jesus because he was a continuation of the eternal Godhead that only and a season. The season is simply a cycle during which the soul evolves to the higher realm. In the 12, don't you see? You got 12 months in a year. You got 12 ages. And inside of you, you got the 12, which is a season. Each is a season, each part of you. And it's a cycle in which you evolve inside of you in the same way that the universe evolves, in the same way that the 12 months go by. And there within you, each season evolves you higher and higher. And you are a season. And this loosening of the lower mind, but for a little season, nowhere will it pound on you and hold you captive as it has in the past. Let's take a look at Revelation 20, verse 4. "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, judgment was given unto them." Thrones is a direct reference from the Kabbalah. Kabbalah. Jewish, ancient, desert people, rabbis. Okay. "I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them." The higher self, okay, is a throne. The throne is the Buddhic spirit of Atma. Atma is the mind of God. That's the king's temple in the pyramid, the mind of God. Buddha is God's love. Throne, Buddha. I saw thrones. Love. That beautiful love that comes when the right hemisphere opens up and pours forth into you the words of God. Go back into the Old Testament. Go to Isaiah and go to the book of Isaiah at verse 66. Isaiah verse 66. Okay. And watch here what we got. Okay. Watch what it says. Verse 1. "Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool." What does that mean? The heaven is his throne. The higher mind is the residence and the dwelling place of God. And the earth is his footstool. That part where his feet, the lowest part of God, touches is you. You're the earth. I'm the earth. Adam. And he touches us at the footstool, meaning that part of God that touches humankind, entering down into the lower realms of consciousness. And I love the next part. "Where is the house that you build me? Where's the place of my rest?" You know what rest means? Sabbath. You know what Sabbath means? 7. It's the 7th chakra. It's the crown chakra. It's the throne. The highest part in human consciousness. So Revelation is a direct statement of the age of those who dwell in the higher mind. And I want you to notice something in Revelation 20, verse 4. Judgment is given to you. Revelation 20, verse 4. Judgment is given to you. Now, come with me for a second. In the human brain, and I'm not a neurologist, all I know is there are 6 things on the right side and 6 things on the left side. There are 12. They are the higher consciousness, okay? So God's eternal throne is in the higher mind of man, and through meditation, you lift yourself up into that throne. Watch this. Go to the book of Matthew. And we'll go to Matthew 19. And this is exciting. So I want you to get excited about this. Matthew 19, verse 28. Jesus says, I say unto you, that you which have followed me in the regeneration. You know what that means? 1, 2, 3. You who have followed me in the new age is the regeneration. Have you followed him? Because we followed him in the new age. And look what he says will happen. When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, when that is that which is the higher consciousness, the Christ within you is fulfilled, you shall sit upon the 12 thrones. You shall have dominion over the 12 aspects of yourself, and judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And those are the 12 aspects of you. As you understand, and we've told you this before, it has nothing whatsoever to do with that which is Israel overseas. It has to do with that which is Israel in you. I-S, which is Isis, which is the spirit. Ra, which is the mind. E-L, which is the God in you. You then will sit upon authority with Christ consciousness, and those 12 aspects of you, which are the fulfillment of Israel, spirit and mind together within you. Then you will have judgment. Why? Because it says you will judge with righteous judgment. You will judge from the right side. You will understand. All of this is simply saying, if you will bring yourself into that 1,000 years, God and you in that eternal nothingness through meditation, these things will happen. That's why Jesus said, take no thought for your life. What does he mean? Don't worry about your life? He said, no, take no thought and you'll have life.